Class, my name is Lisbeth Perez, and my topic is constant rate of change, and I will be lecturing for 8th grade level. Some prerequisites are reading comprehension. Students should know fractions, graphing, functions, tables or charts, angles, areas, algebra, some algebra, the PEMDAS, the order of operations, exponential expression as well, based on 7th grade experiences. Remediation topic is tables and charts, intercepts of x and y, and word problems. Okay. So, a household of 6 members has a 20-pound sack of rice to consume. When quarantine is placed as an emergency order, the members of the household gradually consume the rice, causing the amount of rice to decrease at a constant rate. After 2 weeks, the sack of rice has only 17 pounds of rice. Okay, so let S-T denote the amount of rice, S measured in pounds, or LBS as a function of T measured in weeks. So we know that at the beginning we have a 20-pound sack of rice, and it is decreasing at a constant rate. So after 2 weeks, we have 17 pounds of rice. Okay, when time is 0, we can illustrate it as this. We have 20 pounds. 20 pounds. We know that after 2 weeks, we have a decrease of rice, which leads to 17 pounds of rice being consumed after 2 weeks. 17 pounds of rice. We can also write it down like this. When time is 0, which is present, we have a 20-pound sack of rice. After 2 weeks, we have 17 pounds of rice. Okay. What is the change in time, and what is the change in pounds? The rate. Right here, we had a 2. Positive 2. We added 2 weeks. And then the change, the difference in the amount of rice is -3. Okay. What is the change in the amount of rice relative to time? So we are going to write it as S over time equals, we had for S, we had a -3. 3 pounds were consumed in 2 weeks of time, leading us to how much consumption was done each week, because at a constant rate it was decreasing. So -3 divided by 2 is -1.5. So we had -1.5 pounds a week being consumed for the rice. So what kind of function will this be? This is going to be a linear function. We are seeing that we are consuming at a constant rate. So we remember how to write a linear function. We express an equation in slope-inner form. So maybe you guys will remember y is equal to mx plus b. Okay, so m is your slope and b is technically like your intercept. So we know that for B, when we write S in time, and we want to find what B is, we know that when S in time was 0, B was 20 pounds. And then how do we find our slope? Well, technically these are coordinates. We can graph these. And this is our slope. We can use these as coordinates, and this would be our slope. So we would illustrate S of t equals the slope plus b. S of t equals, our slope was negative 1.5 plus b was 20. We are going to substitute it here. That's how we illustrate the equation. To me, it makes more sense if we illustrate it, or we can illustrate it if you choose to, another way. It's easier to visualize it. So we can put a 20 right here, and then we're transferring this 20 here, and then add the negative 1.5. Negative 1.5. Because it's easier to visualize it like this, because we started off with 20 pounds, a sack of rice that was 20 pounds, and each week it was being consumed by 1.5 pounds. So it's easier to visualize. Each week you're losing 1.5 pounds. And that's my lecture for math class.